Hello, good morning, good evening, everybody. I'm Dr. Asavari Manvikar. I would like to welcome you all for CAR Global Webinar Research Series. So, Council for Ayurveda Research is an international non-profit organization based out of USA with its sister chapter in India. By the name of Ayurvidya Anusandhan Abhiyan Foundation, AAAF, our mission is to encourage, educate, and facilitate basic, clinical, and interdisciplinary research in Ayurveda. Our vision is to promote and establish Ayurveda as an evidence-based health science globally. You can learn more about us at www.ayurvedaresearchusa.org. Please do consider joining us as a member, which will bring you access to all our resources. No nonprofit can operate and succeed without volunteers. So consider joining us as a volunteer. We can place you in a variety of projects based on your skills and your interest. Once again, our website is www.ayurvedaresearchusa.org. Now I would like to introduce our platinum sponsor, Komal Herbs. It's a company based in Pennsylvania. It is focused on the concepts of Ayurveda and the power of being healthy using herbals and natural products. Komal Herbals worked hard to find premium ingredients for their herbal formulations. They also source herbs and spices that are sustainably and organically grown around the world. For more information, go to komalherbals.com. Now, let me introduce our eminent speaker today, Dr. Shweta Gujar. Thank you so much, madam, for taking time to talk to everybody today. So this month is actually recognized for breast cancer awareness. And I'm so glad that you are here to talk about your experience regarding the breast cancer as an Ayurvedic perspective. Dr. Gujar is BAMS MD. She has been working as an assistant director at Integrated Cancer Treatment and Research Center, Wagholi, more than 16 years. She has done her PhD at Tirak Ayurved, Maharashtra Vidyapit, Pune. Her dissertation topic for PhD was role of Ayurvedic treatment in the management of side effects of radiotherapy in oral cavity cancers. So I welcome you, and now you can start your presentation.
Thank you for the kind introduction, madam. I will just share my screen with you, and so that I can present my work. Okay.
Sure.
Can you see the screen?
Mm-hmm. Yes.
It's visible, huh? Yes.
Yes.
So like this, I will present.
Yeah, you can just
topic,
maximize the screen. So if you just go to the bottom and yeah, there you go. Perfect. Great. Thank you.
Yes. Today, my presentation will be on breast cancer and Ayurvedic perspective. Myself, Dr. Shweta Gujar. As madam said, I have done my MD PhD in Ayurveda. I'm working in Integrated Cancer Research Center under our director, Dr. S.P. Sardeshmukh sir. He is first PhD in Ayurveda in the state of Maharashtra, where we are working. And Dr. Vinita Deshmukh madam, you all know her. Dr. S.P. Sardeshmukh sir is a very eminent pulse examiner, well known in India, and recently awarded by very prestigious Dhanvantari Puraskar by Department of Ayush, Government of India to him. So Bharatiya Sanskriti Darshan Trust, Integrated Cancer Treatment and Research Center, with emphasis on integration of Ayurveda with modern perspective of cancer, was established in rural area of Wagholi in 1994 by Sir Deshmukh Maharaj, that is father of Dr. S.P. Sir Deshmukh sir. ICTRC has facility of diagnostic and treatment modalities of cancer, such as radiology, histopathology, surgery, chemotherapy, radiotherapy, combined with Ayurvedic treatment modalities. Integrated Cancer Treatment Research Center is recognized as Center of Excellence by Department of Ayush, Government of India. It is also supported by Department of Atomic Energy, that is DAE for Radiotherapy Department. Our center is affiliated to Indian Cancer Society and also supported by Tata Trusts. As we all know, the gravity of problem, according to estimates from WHO in 2019, cancer is the first or second leading cause of death in 112 out of 183 countries. Worldwide, an estimated 19.3 million new cancer cases, almost 10 million cancer deaths occurred in 2020. And this burden is going to be more and more by 2040, with expected rise up till 28.4 million, that is 47%. Breast cancer, as we all know, is the most frequently observed cancer all over in the world and also in India. At our center also, if we can see the site-wise distribution of the patients which are registered till date from in last 25 years, like 13,063 patients are registered in ICTRC till December 2020. Breast cancer patients, the number is much more, that is 2,234 patients of breast cancer registered, 1/6 patients of the total burden of cancer patients at our hospital, followed by oral head and neck cancers. So cancer, we have to, if we want to treat breast cancer from Ayurvedic perspective, we have to know that where it is mentioned in Ayurveda. So the cancer is a disease which is not directly mentioned in Ayurvedic Samhitas as a single disease, but various diseases and conditions resemble to cancer, that is Dushta Vrana, Dushta Granthi, Dushta Arbuda, Dushta Visarpa, Dushta Vidradi, etc. are mentioned in Ayurvedic texts. All these diseases are mentioned as a Koshtagata Vyadhi in Charak Samhita, which is very well-known book of traditional medicines. Most of the diseases are Mausa Pradoshaja Vikar. Dushta Stana Granthi and Dushta Stana Arbuda mainly resembles to breast cancer. Vitiated Tridoshas along with vitiated Dhatu, Srotasas like Rasarakta, Mausameda play an important role in Samprapti, that is development of cancer as per Ayurvedic perspective. Before treating any disease, we have to first find out what are the etiological factors of the disease. So here we have documented detailed history of 558 breast cancer patients who are registered in our center in different point of view. The points which are considered are long-term consumption of dietary items, long-lasting lifestyles, addictions, their occupational histories, past illnesses suffered by the patients, menstrual histories, mental status, hereditary, which is also a very important factor. The frequency and quantity of consumed food items were taken into consideration to identify it as a risk factor, and each risk factor individually and in combination to study their association with aggressiveness of breast cancer had been studied. It is then finally concluded that excessive consumption of sweet, spicy, pungent food, a Bhishandi diet like dadhi, stale foods, fermented foods, excessive non-veg food, bakery products, antagonistic diets, that is Viruddhana, which are mentioned in Ayurvedic texts, are found to be dietary risk factors in breast cancer patients. Viruddhana, as you can say, that some dietary factors which two diets should not be taken together, like milk and fruit should not be taken together, or milk and meat cannot be taken together. We cannot take honey with warm water. These are concepts of Ayurveda of Viruddhana. And many patients found to be in consumption with these type of habits. Daytime sleep, occupational hazards, mental stress, menstrual disorders are the many risk factors which are found in breast cancer patients. So why need of integrative cancer treatment is needed? The concept of integrative cancer treatment was evolved on the basis that the known cancer treatment modalities like surgeries, chemotherapies, radiotherapies, hormonal therapies are beneficial for the cancer patients, but as well as they cause toxic side effects leading to poor quality of life in cancer patients. So the whole world is looking towards alternative medicines to control these toxicities, to increase disease-free survival and to improve quality of life in cancer patients. So here Ayurvedic treatment modalities definitely help the patients to certain extent. Holistic Ayurvedic principles for breast cancer patients. If we have to plan the complete Ayurvedic treatment for the patient, then we have to take consideration following points. We should give patient treatment for the disease, to improve appetite, digestion, to keep the metastasis or recurrence under control, to treatment for his or her side effects for chemotherapy or radiotherapy, immunomodulatory treatments, deworming treatments, detoxifying treatments like Panchakarma treatments, and similarly treatments for relaxation of mind, which is also very important factor in Ayurvedic principles of the treatment. So Shaman Chikitsa, that is oral Ayurvedic medicines, is the integral part of this holistic treatment. We have to have plan, we have to give orally medicines to the patients. So before giving any medication to the patients, here in our institute, we try to standardize all the medicines. That is, drug standardization is a very important part of ICTRC. We do not have direct guidelines for standardization of Ayurvedic medicines, but we follow CCRS guidelines for drug standardization at our institute, which are given for the standardization of modern medicines. So all these tests which are written over here, we do for every, whichever applicable for that product, from start of the product up till the finished products. We have a well-equipped drug standardization lab at ICTRC, but the few tests which cannot be done at our place, we do those tests at like safety studies. We don't have animal house at our center, so we have to rely on ACTRAC, that is Advanced Cancer Research Center, which is situated in Kharghar, which is a branch of Tata Memorial Hospital. All our animal toxicity studies, we have a collaboration with them for that. And also stability studies of these medicines we do at Indian Drug Research and Laboratory, that is IDRL, Shivajinagar, Pune. So with this standardization of medicines, now we have many monographs for many tablets. The standardization has been done at our institute for these tablets, gritas, for bhasmas also. So when the point comes, our medicines are not only herbal, but herbo mineral metallic combinations are there. Whenever the word metal comes in the picture, then many oncologists or modern medicine doctors have some are in dilemma for whether to give these Ayurvedic medicines to the patients or not. But with our perspective or with our experience, if we prepare this bhasma as per the given guidelines, as per the textbooks which are written, Granthokta, which we can say that, then the finished product do not contain any metal base, or they do not have any metal compound. One of the major bhasma, Suvarna bhasma, that is gold bhasma, which we use in our practice day to day, is a very good product. We have a good product, Atharva Suvarna Bhasmadipati, which contains Suvarna Bhasma 999.99 gold, Mauktik Bhasma, that is cultured pearl Bhasma, and Guduchi Sattva, that is Tinospora cardiofolia starch. This combination, we have given the name, which is a proprietary medicines with us, Atharva Suvarna Bhasmadipati. We have patented this product, and now in international patent is also filed for this medicine. This is a very good immunobooster, immunomodulator medicines as per our experience since last 25 years we observed. This medicine has been given in 76 breast cancer patients of all stages and grades. And we have divided these 76 patients in 3 groups. That is group 1 patients who are taken these medicines, 37 patients who have taken these medicines for 1 or 2 years, 33 patients consumed these medicines up till 4 years, and 6 patients from these 76 patients consumed medicines for 4 to 6 years. What we have observed that in this table, when we retrospectively saw the survival pattern and the number of percentage of the patients lies in 3 groups, then here I have highlighted that group 3 patient, those 6 patients who have taken this ASBD, that is Atharva Suvarna Bhasmadipati, for more than 4 years. 67, 4 of them patients are of stage 3 and 4, which survives for more than 5 to 10 years. So this is the capacity of these medicines, as you can say. We have mode of action of 64 Ayurvedic formulation used in the treatment of breast cancers from Ayurvedic and modern perspective. The whole database is ready with us now. So here, for example, I have put Triphala Gugul. Triphala Gugul, as you can see, we have learned what is its efficacy in Ayurvedic point of view also, and from modern point of view also, the papers published on Triphala Gugul, like Suvarna Malini Vasantaras, etc., etc. All these data which have been collected in our drug standardization lab, we have published in many national, international journals. Recently, we have published one paper in marine drugs, which is on crown shell, that is Shankha Bhasma. Also, Separation Science Plus journal published our paper on Glycerella glabra, that is Yashtimadhu, which is Yashtimadhu Gruta. Journal of Ayurvedic, JMIO, that is Journal of Ayurveda and Integrative Medicines, published many of our papers on drug standardization. So here I have to emphasize that standardization of drugs before giving to any patient, especially cancer patient, is very important, and we have to follow the strict guidelines before giving any medicines to the patients. We have conducted many clinical trials at ICTRC on breast cancer patient. I am just going to brief you few of them. One clinical trial recently completed after 5 years on effectiveness of Ayurvedic treatment in alleviating adverse effects of chemotherapy, improving quality of life, systemic immune response in breast cancer patient. This clinical trial has been registered with CTRI with trial registration number given below. You can find out or you can have anytime you can Google search this for this clinical trial. Why the need of this study? Adverse effects of chemotherapy are due to generation of oxidative stress, inability to control inflammation, reduction in immune response, and functional impairment of the tissues. So necessary to develop adjuvant medicines which can combine with chemotherapy to minimize its toxicities. In our earlier studies, we have reported that the patients having various types of cancers undergoing chemotherapy when treated with herbomineral metallic Ayurvedic preparations show significant beneficial effects in reducing the side effects of chemotherapy. This we have published in Supportive Care in Cancer, a very well-known international journal, few years back. But here we have studied this drug in many types, simultaneous at various types of cancer. So now we have targeted only on breast cancer, and in this multicentric study, we study 101 female breast cancer patients between age 25 to 75 years treated with surgery and scheduled for chemotherapy were enrolled. Patients with distant metastases were avoided. These patients were randomly divided into two groups. Oral Ayurvedic medicines, that is OAM, were given along with chemotherapy to 55 patients out of 101 patients, which is our study group, that is group 1, while 46 patients took only chemotherapy, that is group 2 control group patients. Stages and grades of the disease were matched in both the groups, and Ayurvedic medicines were given to group 1 patient only from beginning of chemotherapy till the period of 10 months. In the medicines which are given by us is a kit, whole kit, Atharva Suvarna Bhasmadivati, which is a good immunomodulator. I have explained it earlier, along with Moktikyukta Kamdudha, Atharva Padmakadhigruta, and Atharva Anantavati. Chemotherapy regime in both groups is same, that is anthracycline or taxane-based chemotherapy protocols, along with pre-post chemotherapy drugs. So what we have observed, our assessment criteria is of different groups. First, clinical assessment is done by assessment of commonly observed adverse effects of chemotherapy, which are graded as per CTCAE 4.03 version. Grade 0 denotes absence of symptom, where lower scale denotes less severity of symptoms. Assessment of performance status using Karnofsky score, that is a very good tool to monitor the well-being of the patient. Higher score denotes better performance of the patient. Assessment of quality of life using questionnaires QLQ-C30, VR23, which is especially designed for breast cancer patients of EORTC, determined on the basis of patient's own perspective. So here patient is going to tell you what he or she is about her or herself, her well-being. So QLQ-C30 again interprets like symptom score, functional score, and global score. Clinical laboratory tests like hemogram LFT-KFT, C-reactive protein has been done. Some basic laboratory investigations were carried out to provide proof of concept of effectiveness of Ayurvedic medicines for assessing status of immunomodulatory effect, which we say that Ayurvedic medicines give immunomodulation effects or reduce oxidative stress. But to prove this, we have to have some basic laboratory investigation. So we have done pro-inflammatory cytokines like IL-1 beta, IL-6, 8, 10, which are measured by ELISA. Oxidative stress was measured by estimating two enzymes, that is superoxide dismutase SOD and catalase, and one protein glutathione using commercial kits. Time point for assessment are designed as like A time point is before beginning of chemotherapy. That at that time point we have assessed all these parameters. Time point B is the mid chemotherapy sessions of the patient. C is end of chemotherapy. D 1 month post chemotherapy, and E after 1 year of starting chemotherapy. So according to all these time points, we have recorded all the parameters. For collaboration, our collaborators for patient recruitment, we have recruited patients not only in ICTRC Wagholi, but at Sahyadri Hospitals, Pune, which is a very well-known multi-specialty hospital, Curie Manavta Cancer Center, Nashik. Manufacturing of Ayurvedic medicines were done at FDA-approved GMP certified Atharva Nature Healthcare Private Limited, Wagholi, which is our own sister concern. Drug standardization has been done not only in ICTRC, but as I have explained at IDRL and NCL also. Animal toxicity studies were done at ACTRAC, that is a branch of Tata Memorial Hospital, which is situated in Kharghar, Navi Mumbai. In our observation, as I have said, that in both the groups, group 1 and group 2, we have matched the patients which are enrolled according to their histopathological type, grade, stage, anything like that. So if you can see here in this table, 98% patients from both the groups are of IDC, that is infiltrating duct carcinoma patients. Grade 2 patients in group 1 are 51% versus 57% in group 2. Grade 3 patients are 47% in group 1 against 30% in group 2. 58% of group 1 lies in stage 2 versus 54% in group 2, while 38% here you can see in stage 3 patients in group 1 versus 39% in group 2. ENBC patients are 25% versus 28% in both the groups. So when we have assessed all these patients and have the results in our hand, then as you can see, the red bars which denote control group, that is the patients who have not given any Ayurvedic treatments, and blue bars denotes our study group, that is the patients who has given Ayurvedic treatments along with chemotherapy. So in case of anorexia, nausea and vomiting, in all these symptoms, you can see that control group patients showed significant increase in anorexia, that is loss of appetite, nausea during the period of chemotherapy. That is at time point B and C. If you can see the significant P values also we have got. Nausea had P value of less than 0.001 in both B and C time points, and D time point also it has significantly less. So here we can see that Ayurvedic medicine definitely helps to control anorexia, nausea, vomiting when given along with chemotherapy. Also, in taste disturbance, mucositis or headache, you can see that in taste disturbance significantly more in control group than that of study group. Mucositis, that is mukhapak, as we can say in Ayurveda, is less in study group, that is the patients who have supported with Ayurvedic treatments. And headache is the symptom where we found the exactly different picture. The patients who have given Ayurvedic treatments has more headache than that of control group patients. In constipation, diarrhea, we do not have any different observation, be it study group or control group. But fatigue, definitely. Patients suffering from patients having support of Ayurvedic medicines have less fatigue. At the end of chemotherapy, we can see that we have P value, that is P is 0.006. Significant difference is there in the patient status. These are our own as per doctor's perspective. We have recorded all these symptoms. The Karnofsky score, which is a very good tool, as I have explained. The more the Karnofsky score, better the patient's well-being. Karnofsky score was comparable before commencement of chemotherapy in both the groups, but in control group, as you can see, when fold chain graphs are plotted, then Karnofsky score is reduced in both the groups, but there is much more reduction in control group than that of study group. At time point C, that is at the end of chemotherapy, the patients who do not have support of the red bars, which shows that patients who do not have support of Ayurvedic medicines, have decreased Karnofsky score more than that of study group. Scores of both the groups showed increase at the end of 1 year, but the very significantly more in study group than that of control group. So after finishing chemotherapy, the Karnofsky score increases in both the groups, but it is higher in study group than that of control. Now, as per patient's perspective, what patient feels also most important. We have recorded all this questionnaire. We have analysis their question scores according to each time point. And what we have found that though the increase in symptomatology is found in both the groups during the course of chemotherapy, it was less in study group than that of control group. And at time point C, we have found the significant p-value, that's p is 0.05. So patients themselves told us that they have less severity of symptoms in chemotherapy side effects in study group. Functions also deteriorates in both the groups, but much more deterioration is found in control group than that of study group. Global score, which is the feeling of well-being. Some questions of this C30 questionnaire gives us answer regarding the well-being of patients. So well-being of the patients maintained throughout the course of treatment in study group. And the breast score, the specially designed breast cancer questionnaire, which gives answers by the patients, show that breast score is also well maintained in study group patients. Clinical laboratory results, as you can see, though leukopenia, thrombocytopenia were observed in both the groups during the course of chemotherapy, it was less in study group compared to that of control group. At B time point, that is during course of chemotherapy, mid-chemotherapy, the drop of WBC count and platelet count is much more less in study group patient than that of control group patients. LFTs and KFTs are well maintained throughout the course of chemotherapy, which suggests that Ayurvedic medicines do not affect adversely in livers or kidneys, though we have herbo-mineral metallic compounds in our kit. Pro-inflammatory cytokines, which are studied in our special designed research lab, show more reduction in level at all 4 pro-inflammatory cytokines in study group compared to control group till 1 year post chemotherapy. Significantly decreased levels of IL-1, IL-6 and 10 observed in treated group as compared to control group, which indicates positive immunomodulation in favor of treated group of the patients. This, I just don't know much thing about these inflammatory cytokines and all, because our research team is totally different. I'm just presenting their work over here. Similarly, oxidative stress decrease SOD activity in the study group as compared to control group in 1 year of the treatment indicates less free oxygen radicals production in the treatment group. More pronounced decrease in catalyst activities is also seen in control group than that of study group. So this kit, the whole kit, we have patentized Indian and international patent filed as a kit of an adjunct Ayurvedic formulation for the treatment of side effects of chemotherapy last year. Now this kit is in the market with the name of Chemo Recovery Kit with gold and with coral. With gold is if you can see here, it helps reduces adverse, if not only adverse effect of chemotherapy, but it also builds a strong immune system against the disease. So if one patient cannot afford this gold kit, then the secondary small kit is also there, which helps reduce adverse effects of chemotherapy, where we replace Atharva Suvarna Bhasmadi Vati with Prabhar Pishti Vati, which is well-known Ayurvedic probiotic medicines. So as you can see, the kit has 4 contents. Atharva Suvarna Bhasmadi Vati is the main content, Kamdudha Vati, Atharva Ananta Vati, and Atharva Padmagadi Kruta. The whatever the clinical trial we have conducted, it is the output of that clinical trial. Again, we have the second study like efficacy of Ayurvedic treatment in increasing disease-free survival of triple negative breast cancer patients. The clinical trial also registered at cancer trial registry. Sorry. As we all know, triple negative breast cancers do not express ER, PR, or HER2 pronucleus. Major challenge in triple negative breast cancer patients, its unique molecular profile, aggressive nature, distinct metastatic pattern, and lack of targeted therapy, resulting in poor prognosis of this patient. We found that in our clinical observations, in our previous work, it is found that we have observed 94 TNBC cancer patients which are registered at ICTRC. Out of 94 patients, 52 patients who have taken treatment for more than 1 year, we have calculated their DFS, OS, and their status. It is found that in group of 21 TNBC patients out of these 52 who have taken Shaman, that is oral Ayurvedic medicines, Rasayan, that is immunomodulation treatment, and Panchakarma treatment, along with all these three holistic treatments, then they have maximum disease-free survival. Only 2 patients among these had OS, that is they have recurrence, and 2 patients were expired. These results leads to finalize our treatment protocol for this clinical trial, in which we have still date enrolled 27 patients with study group who have taken oral Ayurvedic medicines along with Panchakarma for the period of 3 years, whereas 26 patients were enrolled in control group, whom we do not give any treatment, just we have observed them for the period of 3 years after completing their conventional treatment for survival pattern. The medicines which are given like Atharva Suvarna Basmati Vati, Kamduda Vati, Shatavari Vati, Arogyavardhini Vati, Trifala Gugul, and Jatamasi oil for Shiropichu. Also, Panchakarma treatments in 4 sets in 3 years were given to these 27 study group patients. So we have found after 3 years survival data when compared here, all the 27 patients have completed from study group have completed 3 years, but 6 patients from control group yet to complete. They have completed 2.5 years, but not all 3 years. So here you can see the pattern. The study group patients, all the among the 27 patients, 85.19% patients have completed 3 years, while in control group, out of 26, the 20 patients who have completed 3 years shows 71% survival till date. So definitely there is an effective, what I can say, that there is good response with the Ayurvedic treatment in these TNBC patients. This kit also patentized with us. One small study I can explain, which we have done in BRCA1-2 gene mutated patients with registered under CTI. This project is very dear to us or very prestigious for us, as we are doing this study with in collaboration with Tata Memorial Hospital, TMH. We have approved this project through their breast group in August 2019. Then with their very strict rules or very strict ethical rules, we have now completed animal toxicity studies. We have get clearance from Animal Ethics Committee, and now we have submitted our program to Human Ethics Committee. Project is guided by Dr. Rajiv Sarin, in charge Cancer Genetic Center, ACTRAC, TMH. We all know that family history also one of the major risk factor in breast cancer, and most common genetic mutation is BRCA1-2. In Ayurveda also, as per Ayurveda, Kulaja Vyadhi, Sahaja Vyadhi, Kshetriya Vyadhi originates within the body and may be due to hereditary factors, congenital vitiated doshas. Acharya Charak has stated the significance of genetics factors in the development of diseases. During the embryological development stages, the defected part of ovum or sperm can result in disability in that particular inherited gene in the offspring, which is well stated in Ayurvedic Granthas. So we have designed our studies for 25 to 70 years females carrying BRCA1-2 mutation. Till date, at our center, we have registered 9 patients who have completed 3 years of Ayurvedic treatment, and among these 9 patients who are TNBC, triple negative breast cancer, and who have chances of recurrence, or you can say that bilateral breast can be involved, ovaries can be involved. They are very poor prognosis, but 8 out of 9 patients treated with this kit of Ayurvedic preparation were disease-free throughout the study period. Only one patient, the patient who was initially diagnosed with breast cancer 6 years back, completed conventional treatment, and now she has cystoadenocarcinoma, recurrence in ovaries, was enrolled by us. We have to just examine her, but she was in stage 4 at that time, but we have enrolled her, and she had metastasis in mediastinal right supraclavicular nodes also. This patient survived only for 1 year and 10 months in study period. We have this kit patentized with us. Now, last but not least, Panchakarma treatment, a major part of Ayurvedic treatment. To detoxify body organs, elements to control disease progression, prevent local and distal metastasis, Panchakarma treatment is a very important factor in Ayurvedic treatment. So if we have done a retrospective study which includes 99 breast cancer patients having 2 or more sets of Panchakarma treatment. We recommend our patients to at least have one Panchakarma session of 14 days or 7 days as per their need once in a year. So many of our patients yearly follows these guidelines. So if we combine all the 99 patients, then we have divided them in 3 groups. That is group 1 patients who have undergone 2 sets of Panchakarma treatment during their course of treatment. Group 2 patients, 3 or 4 Panchakarma treatments, and group 3 patients, 5 or more than 5 sets of Panchakarma treatments. So here, if we see the survival status of this patient, then the Panchakarma the 15 patients, as you can see here, N is equal to 15 in this group 3 patients. These 15 patients who have taken Panchakarma treatments for more than 5 sets are still alive, 5 more than 5 or 10 years of survival with us. So all these 15 patients are still survive. 100% survival rate can be achieved with, it is not a statement, but we have observed like this. We have many publications in national, international journals with our institute. As you can see, we have published books for cancer patients like Better Tomorrow for Cancer with Ayurveda, and also autobiographic sketches of breast cancer survivors. We have 60 breast cancer survivors who have survived more than 5 years. And with higher stage, they are lies in higher stage, stage 3, stage 4 patients who have survived for more than 5 to 10 years, gave their testimonials. So in this book, one page dedicated to their staging or their history, scientific history, which are noted down by us. And on a second page, he or she has written their what are their experiences, and we have published this book last year. Many patents are filed, till date 7 to 8 patents are filed with us, filed by us, and I dedicate, or I can acknowledge, whole team ICTRC in this, because this is not a single hand, this work cannot be done single-handedly. It is our teamwork. Thank you. So with
absolutely awesome. Thank you so much, sir, for a wonderful presentation. Yes. And it's a great work.
Yes. Still going. We can, maybe after 5 years, there are much more to present with us. Many publications are there in the pipelines.
Absolutely, absolutely. I see Dr. Sardeshmukh sir's vision. I mean, he's a wonderful
He is
physician,
the main pillar. Yes, behind all this.
Absolutely. Right. And I feel so, I really want to offer my gratitude because I started my work with Dr. Sardeshmukh sir. So I was teaching at Wagholi College in 2000, right after my MD. And
sir always tells us about you and whole team.
Yeah, it's a really nice teamwork.
Yes. Now in maybe next year we are going to take our 6th international conference. So sir's plan to invite each and everybody who have worked in the cancer research field from the day 1 till in these 25 years. We are planning to do that. So please join us, madam, in that event.
Absolutely. Okay. Thank you so much.
Okay. So any questions?
Hi, I'm Dr. Swati here. I really appreciate your work, ma'am. It was really good to see so much of work happening in this field. I work with an institute called as TDU from Bangalore. And actually my part of work is we are working on cognitive changes in chemo-induced cognitive changes in breast cancer patients. So that was one of the reason why I actually just logged in, because I wanted to see what kind of work is happening in the field. So I have few questions. So are you okay to take up questions?
Yes, you can ask.
Okay. Okay, the first question that I have is, with respect to your first study that you presented, that is to check the side effects, wherein you introduced us to the Atharva Suvarnadi Basmavati and the kit. So I just wanted to ask about Did you, what was the inclusion criteria? Was it specific that triple negative cases has to be taken, or wasn't there any inclusion criteria
Inclusion,
with respect?
uh, yes, as I have shown, the inclusion criteria are just, this study is not for triple negative breast cancer patients only. So in
The
this
first one.
patient,
Hmm.
here we have just our inclusion criteria is the group age group of the female patient should be in between 25 to 75 years. She should be diagnosed with breast cancer. She has to undergo treated previously with surgery, and now she should be scheduled for chemotherapy. It is the only
Any specific cycles of chemotherapy? Because during the course of treatment itself, the number of chemotherapy cycles keeps varying.
Yes.
Based
So
on the
when
scan
the patient
report.
undergoes 4-AC, 4-Pacli, or 4-AC, 12-Pacli, or 4-AC, 4-Doxy, so thus we have talked with us regarding this with our medical oncologist who works with us, Dr. Tushar Patil, who must be known, very well known medical oncologist. So sir has said that anyway, whatever the treatment protocol may be, the drugs are anthracycline and taxane based only for breast cancer patients. So we can enroll all types of patients, but this is a very superficial observations which I have presented to you. Now the whole data we have what I can say that we have prepared a database in SPSS software. So in that software now our further study to find out the whichever protocol we have 15 types of protocols of the patients. See, for example, some patients undergoes only 4-AC. So protocol number 1, 4-AC, 4-Pacli, protocol number 2. So these minute changes are yet to be statistically, we will get the results in near vicinity in the 1 year or something, because right now we are just inputting our whatever data is with us in SPSS software. And our statistician can be find out whichever the protocol is best for patients, which on which protocol Ayurvedic medicines are very well good for the patients, and everything will be in we can observe later.
My second question was, you mentioned that oral medication was given, the following oral medications was given in the treatment group, correct? So, and you mentioned a time period of 10 months.
10 months, yes.
Correct?
Because chemotherapy, yes. So we are
just sorry to interrupt.
Please continue. Please continue.
So did the intervention period start immediately after surgery, or after some cycles of chemotherapy? Just for my understanding, how did you decide 10 months?
Intervention start from day 1 of chemotherapy. Day 1 of chemotherapy. So after
before
finishing
surgery?
Chemotherapy, after surgery, within 3 weeks, chemotherapy should be started. So we targets our patients after surgery. So we first we explain them regarding the projects. In these 3 weeks, we explain them regarding our projects. We have consents whether they want to enroll in study group or control group. That was their decision. And this process happens in 15 days. And after those 15 days, the last week is for starting Ayurvedic medicines and all. So the patients who are say for day 1, if he is going to start the chemotherapy, on the same day he was given Ayurvedic medicines also, and that medicines continue up till 10 months of Ayurvedic treatment. So if a patient starts 1st January 2020, then the whole medicines will be finished on 30th of October 2020, like that.
So even if the patient is undergoing radiotherapy also, then
they are taking. Yes,
they are taking it, right? So doctor, did you observe any any complaints from the patient? Because already the chemotherapy drugs are very tiresome. They induce tiresome nausea, constipation.
It's a very good question. Actually, what happened?
They're very reluctant
to take Atharva Padmakadi Gruta. That is the main concern.
Correct.
ASBD, MKD, and Anantavati tablets they can easily consume, and they have taken this very nicely tablets, because we are giving them the supply with what we can say in dubbies. that they have to finish those dubbies, they have to return us back, and then we will give them next supply. So this was very vigorously followed by patient. But the question rises in case of Atharva Padmakati Grita only, because patient do not like some smell of it, or they have some nauseatic feeling. So in Grita taking, Grita only there is a problem with the patients. Otherwise, patients took the medicines very nicely and without any problem.
Okay, did you ask them to note down any subjective changes? Like, was it part of the study? Like,
Quality of life questionnaire, if you have seen URTC, which is well developed kit, QLQ C30 and BR23, which we have observed now, those questionnaire we have to fill with patients time to time. So patient has to at each time point, before undergoing first cycle of chemotherapy, before undergoing second chemotherapy, before third
in every
every chemotherapy. So in that questionnaire, we have the answers of our questions regarding any symptomatology or any symptoms they can have during chemotherapy.
Okay. The next question is regarding the Karamsky score that you said.
Yes.
The second study. Can you just elaborate a bit what exactly? I mean, just a brief, like a 2-line or something.
The Karnofsky score is a score which is a very good tool. If you have Google search with Karnofsky score and research papers published, then you can have whole information. Karnofsky score is an assessment criteria which has a score of 0 to 100. So score 0 means patient is totally bedridden. He or she cannot move at all. Then 10, 20, 30, 40. Like this score, if patient is in 100, score 100, then he or she is like anybody like us. So but very much movable, do not have any symptoms, no need of any medication like that. So this Karnofsky score is noted by clinicians only at each time point. And at B time point, if you can see that there has to be reduction in Karnofsky score during course of treatment. At the starting before starting chemotherapy, Karnofsky score is 70 or 80 in study or control group patients. Then it was reduced during chemotherapy, but the reduction is less in study group than that of control group, like this. And when after finishing chemotherapy at time point E, at 1 year, if you can see that the Karnofsky score is increases, the patients are in good health, but the study group patients with more Karnofsky than that of control group patients. These are observation.
Okay. The next one is like with respect to Panchakarma treatment, I just had this doubt. Like when we say Panchakarma treatment, by listening to it itself, patients are like, no, I'm very tired, I don't want to take this. So what, I mean, I just want to know the design. I mean, what treatment?
See, Panchakarma treatment is only made for the patients who lies in group D. As per our group D is the patients who are now absolutely all right. They do not have, when the patient is undergoing radiation or chemotherapy, we do not recommend to take Panchakarma treatment. They have to complete 3 or 4 months at least. After finishing radiation, chemo or any conventional treatment, we first assess if they can undergo Panchakarma treatment. They have that much strength to undergo Panchakarma treatment, and then only we give the treatment at our hospital. So
Panchakarma was basically for the post treatment, right?
Post treatment, post conventional treatment, at least 4 months should be there in between after finishing conventional treatment, any chemotherapy, radiation, anything like that. If he or she is taking hormonal treatment, it will do, no problem with that. But not with chemotherapy or radiation treatment, patient cannot sustain. Our triple negative breast cancer projects or in BRCA, if you can see, the patients enrolled as soon as they complete, not before completion of 3 months of conventional treatment, not before that. They have to finish 3 months of treatment, and then we have enrolled in BRCA project or in TN triple negative breast cancer project. Here I have written it. Observed for 3 years after completing their conventional treatments for survival pattern.
Survival pattern, correct. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, you answered all my queries. Thank you so much. It's a good work. Keep it up.
Thank you. Thank you, sir. Okay, madam. Can I leave?
Yeah. Sure.
Yes. And
thank you.
Malvika,
Thank you so
madam,
much.
Giving opportunity to present my work in front of you. Thank you, madam.
Absolutely. Thank you. Thank you so much for attending our webinar, and please watch and subscribe our video channel to view earlier webinars also. So you can go and you can subscribe to our channel, which is a YouTube channel for Ayurveda Research USA. And if anybody has any questions, you can always reach us at ayurvedaresearchusa@gmail.com. Thank you. Thank you so
Sure.
much.
Thank you.